Citing another's blasphemy is not blasphemy as long as one is not pleased with it and does not think it is good. Citing it means to say he said or the like. If a blasphemous expression is in a book, then someone opened it to merely look at it, to merely see the expression that's in the book without reading aloud, he does not need a citation before opening the book and looking at the statement of blasphemy, because by opening the book, he is not writing or otherwise initiating the blasphemy. He's merely looking at what was written by someone else, which here, take note, that leads us to another rule that you should know. You can help some people with that, which is what? Witnessing blasphemy, merely seeing it, witnessing blasphemy is not blasphemy. If you saw someone standing on the corner saying kufr and you looked at him and you listened to him, that's not kufr. Where some people get confused here, like if they went to go watch a movie that has kufr in it. They say, I watched the movie, I know it has kufr. Do I have to play the credits, or do I have to say they said, or what? So here we're just talking about seeing it, not turning it on. I'm not talking about turning it on. Then you're producing the blasphemy. It's there. You're not the one who turned it on. You're not the one who initiated it or started or set it in motion. Then just witnessing, seeing that blasphemy is not blasphemy. So when you open a book and you just see a statement of blasphemy that's written there and you don't read it aloud, you don't need a citation. You don't have to say they say just to open the book. You don't have to say they say just to witness the blasphemy that's coming from a screen with the speakers, and you're not the one who initiated it. When one needs to produce a citation, it is not necessary that it would be uttered with his tongue. It is valid to be written as long as it had a proper intention when written. That means you want to cite blasphemy, then you want to cite the blasphemy with your tongue, then you can write they say and then say the blasphemy with your tongue. Or you want to write the blasphemy with your hand, then you can say with your tongue they say and then write the blasphemy. Like, let's say you're standing in front of a classroom and there's a board there and you wanted to write the blasphemy for some benefit. So you can say with your tongue, they say, and then write the blasphemy and then give your lesson there. Then you would not commit blasphemy if you did that. And vice versa. The Sheikh said in the Sirat, our reference for excluding the case of conveying another's blasphemy is the saying of Allah the Exalted, وَقَالَتِ الْيَهُودُ عُزَيْرٌ ابْنُ اللَّهِ وَقَالَتِ النَّصَارَى الْمَسِيحُ ابْنُ اللَّهِ. The Jews said Ezra is the son of Allah, and the Christians said the Messiah is the son of Allah. So here, that's blasphemy what they said, and the blasphemy is cited. So that's the evidence. Sheikh is saying, this is our evidence that you have to cite blasphemy. You said, I couldn't hear, can one write the citation, then say the kufr? Yes, that's correct. What's similar to that, like one wanted to play a song that has blasphemy or a movie that has blasphemy. So what does he do? When he pushes the button, he says, they say, and then he pushes the button. And then the blasphemy comes. So it's like that. So if someone wanted to write blasphemy, he could say with his mouth, they say, and then write the blasphemy. Or he could write, they say, and then say the blasphemy. Is that clear? Furthermore, the citation that protects the narrator from blasphemy would either be at the beginning of the statement that he cites or after his mentioning that blasphemous word while intending beforehand to say the citation. So if he said, Jesus is God's son, is what Christians say, so he put it at the end, or the Christians say that, it is a citation that prevents blasphemy from the citer, protects the citer from the blasphemy. As for the one who believes that when he turns on a television or a video, that the image of a person who is speaking blasphemy will appear, and in that case he did not use a valid quoting statement, then he does not commit blasphemy if to him it is as if the image of the person talking is in itself an expression of the one saying the blasphemy. Meaning, what we learned is a person might deem in his own self, he might deem a video, an image, a moving image of someone speaking, like it is a quoting statement itself. So if you saw, like, what, I don't know, let's say Malcolm X, you saw a video of Malcolm X talking. So you're watching that, you're hearing his voice, you're seeing the video move. So for some people, that's like a citation itself. It's like saying Malcolm X says or said. So when they play it, they don't cite it because in their own minds, that is the citation. So if that's how they see it, then they don't blaspheme. If that's how they see it, then they don't blaspheme. On the other hand, someone else might not see it like that. Someone else might say, this is nothing but a series of images back to back, giving the impression of movement. And really, there's no moving, speaking person here. That's a sort of illusion. And there's a recording of his voice that goes along with that series of frames. And so really, there's no quoting statement here, and I'm hearing blasphemy, so I'm going to cite it then. If that's how he sees it, then he needs a citation, because he doesn't deem that image as a citation in itself. Is that clear?
No, sir. Can you say that one more time, please?
Sometimes you see a video of someone committing blasphemy. When I say video, it means it's an image, a moving picture with sound. So there's two cases here. For some people, seeing that, like, let's say the news, you watch the news. So you're watching the news and you see the anchor, the news anchor, or two anchors at the desk. They're both talking, going back and forth, or more than two. You watch CNN, you believe what they say, and you're watching them, and so you see 3-4 people talking there back and forth. So there's two cases here. Some people see that this image, which appears to be a moving image with sound coming, the sound matches the image. For some people, that is in itself like a citation. It's like saying so-and-so said, or so-and-so says. And for that reason, they don't cite the blasphemy. They don't say when they let the blasphemy play, so-and-so said. Because to them, just seeing that image with the sound is like saying so-and-so said. So if that's a person's case, he does not blaspheme for not citing some blasphemy that he initiated, because in his own mind, it's cited by, when he sees the screen with the voice coming out, that's a way of saying so-and-so says. But another case Yani same scenario, but another person who doesn't see it the same way. Another person sees that no, all that really is a series of images ran together consecutively so fast that you don't see any interruption between the frames, and it looks like a person is talking, but really it's just a bunch of pictures back to back with a soundtrack. And so he sees that there's no citation here. So this one, then he needs a citation if he's the one who's initiating some blasphemy. Is that clear? It's not that you don't need to say it. What I'm saying is, it depends on your case. Some people see that that's what it means. To them, it's like a way of saying, he said. So then, if that's your case, then you didn't commit kufr if you didn't cite it. Because in your own mind, it's cited by the moving image with the sound. Right? I gave an example of Malcolm X. I think we all know who he is. We know his voice. We know his picture. So if you just saw that, if you saw Malcolm X's talking and you hear the sound and you see the image, what would you say? What do you understand? You might understand from that this is what Malcolm X says. So it's like it's cited by the image itself.
Yeah, I get it.
With the sound. I mean, because some people are not knowledgeable about how these machines work. So another person, like let's say someone who makes film, to him, because of his knowledge, his expertise, he would say, no, what this really is a series of images, many frames running back to back. It's not even really a moving picture, actually. It's a bunch of still pictures running back to back like a flip book. You ever did a flip book? You did many pages. Mm-hmm. Each page is just slightly different, and then you flip it, and it looks like it's moving. So they said, really, it's not really something moving. This might be your case. It's not really a moving image. It's a series of frames running back to back so fast that it looks like it's moving, and it goes along with the soundtrack. So this needs a citation. So that might be your case. So if that's your case, you need a citation. Is that clear?
Yes, it's clear.
As for the one who believes that when he turns on the television or video, that the image of a person who is speaking blasphemy will appear, and in that case he did not use a valid quoting statement, then he does not commit blasphemy if to him it is as if the image of the person talking is in itself an expression of the one saying the blasphemy. So here, this doesn't include animation, because no one looks at an animation and believes that that image is really the speaker. Sometimes the citation is implied, like if it were asked, what do the Christians say? Then someone merely answered, Jesus is God's son. The responder does not blaspheme for not citing in this case, because his citation is implied, because his answer is linked to the question. So he doesn't commit kufr. If you're going to produce blasphemy, let's say you know that when you turn on this movie or this TV or whatever, there's going to be blasphemy there. Then do you have to cite it or not? Here, we look at what the person believes about the image. So you have two cases here. Some people, they see this moving image, like if you're watching the news, right? Or a movie or whatever. Like if you saw a movie, then it's like Denzel Washington is talking, isn't it? When you see the image of Denzel Washington and he's talking, then it's like saying, Denzel Washington said. So if that's how it is to you, so you didn't cite it because the image itself to you is like saying so-and-so said, the image itself with the sound is like saying, so-and-so said, if that's how you conceive that, so, and that's why you didn't cite the blasphemy, then you didn't blaspheme, because in your own mind, it's cited by the image and the sound. But again, another person might not have the same conviction here. For another person, it could be that he sees that it's not even really a moving picture. He says, no, what it really is you have frames. Each frame is just a still picture. And then when you run them together sequentially, it looks like it's moving, but really it's not moving. It's just an illusion, like a flip book. When you turn the pages real fast, it looks like the image is moving. So someone would say, that's how it is. So to him, he needs a citation, though, then. In that case, such a one would need a citation, because he doesn't see that this moving image with the sound is like a citation or a representation of the speaker. Is that clear? And that's why what I'm saying to you now does not work for animation. If you saw a Bugs Bunny cartoon, no one believes that that image of Bugs Bunny is really talking. Everyone knows that there was someone in the background talking and his image is not appearing, and his voice was applied to some animation, an anthropomorphic, a personified rabbit. So in that case, you would need a citation, because you know for sure that it's not, the picture, the picture is not talking. Right. So for some people, all the pictures are like that, whether it's animation or it's not an animation. For some people, it's all like that, because it's just frames being played sequentially. But for some people, there's a difference between animation and video that's not animation. So to them, that video with the sound is like as if it is the citation. So that's clear. Just like other cases, like a cassette tape. And depending on where you are in the world, maybe you don't use cassette tapes anymore. But if you know what's a cassette tape, so what is a person's conviction here? Some people might believe that the sound is really stuck on the tape. That's their belief about the issue. That's how they conceive it and understand it. So when they press play on the tape, it's like, to them, it's like opening a book. Like when you open the book, you see the word is just written there already. You don't need to say they say just to open up the book and see it. To some people, when you put the cassette tape and you press play and then the kufr comes, to them it's like it was already there. But for someone else, that's not the case. For someone else, they say, no, there's no sound stuck on that tape. Rather, there's some sorts of codes going on there. And then when you put the tape into the apparatus and press play, and then the magnets come and this and that and the electricity and etc., then the sound comes out the speaker. So this needs a citation then. Like that. For some people, when you open up your laptop or your computer, you turn it on and you find your files again and again. Every time you turn on your laptop, you find all your files. Every time you turn on your laptop, you see your same desktop. Same way, it looks the same way all the time. For some people, it's like it's stuck in there. That's how they conceive it. It's like a book. When they open the book, it's there already. But for some people, it's not. For some people, every time you open up the computer and turn it on and then the image appears, that's brand new. It's not the same one as last time. That's what's correct. So then it depends on what's the person's case. Wa subhanallahi wa bihamdihi.